Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. We are back with the glossary of legal terms. The first term today is encumbrance. An encumbrance is a claim or liability attached to property such as mortgage, lien, or easement. It limits the owner's ability to transfer or fully enjoy the property. Buyers usually conduct a title searches to identify encumbrances before purchase. Some encumbrances are financial, like unpaid loans, while others are legal rights of third parties. They can affect the value and the usability of property. The next phrase is frustration of contract. Frustration of contract occurs when an unforeseen event makes performance of a contract impossible or radically different. It discharges both parties from further obligations. Examples include destruction of subject matter of or changes in law. It prevents unfair enforcement of impossible duties. This doctrine ensures fairness when circumstances fundamentally change. The next phrase is implied powers. Implied powers are powers not explicitly stated but necessary to execute legally granted powers. They are inferred from a constitution, statute, or agreement. Governments use implied powers to adapt to changing circumstances. Courts often interpret their scope when disputes arise. They ensure flexibility and effective governance. The next phrase is kosher certification in a trade law. Kosher certification is a mark showing that a product complies with the Jewish dietary laws. In a trade law, it functions as a quality assurance label that impacts consumer trust and marketability. Business must meet religious and regulatory standards to obtain it. Misuse or mislabeling can lead to legal action for fraud or consumer deception. It has implications in food trade, labeling, and international commerce. The next phrase is attractive nuance. Attractive nuance is a legal doctrine holding property owners liable for injuries to children who trespass due to something appealing on the property. Examples include swimming pools, machinery, or abandoned buildings that allure children. The law recognizes that children may not understand the risks involved. Owners must take reasonable steps to secure or eliminate such hazards. It balances property rights with the duty to prevent foreseeable harm to minors. The next phrase is poor law. Poor laws historically governed public assistance for the poor, especially in Europe. They regulated relief distribution, workhouses, and responsibility of local parishes. Modern equivalents are welfare laws and social security systems. These laws reflect society's obligation to address poverty while preventing dependency. Their scope lies in social policy, administrative law, and human rights. The next phrase is interim relief. Interim relief is a temporary remedy granted by a court before the final resolution of a case. It is meant to protect the rights of a party and prevent irreparable harm. Examples include temporary injunctions, stay orders, or interim maintenance. Such a relief balances fairness while the case is pending. It is usually time-bound and is subject to review during final judgment. The next term is quittance. Quittance is a formal release or discharge from a debt, claim, or obligation. It serves as proof that a payment or settlement has been made. Historically, quittances were written documents acknowledging satisfaction. They help prevent future disputes over the same obligation. In modern law, quittance may take the form of a receipt or release agreement. The next phrase is voter registration. Voter registration is the process of enrolling eligible citizens to voting in elections. It helps maintain accurate and secure electoral rolls. Requirements often include proof of identity, age, and a residency. Many jurisdictions allow online registration to increase participation. Proper registration reduces fraud and ensures fair elections. The next term is auction. An auction is a public sale where goods or property are sold to the highest bidder. It can be conducted physically or online with ascending or descending price methods. Auctions are widely used for real estate, art, vehicles, and government assets. The process ensures competitive pricing based on demand. Legal rules govern fairness, transparency, and bidder obligations. The next term is Kula, customary law term. Kula refers to a traditional exchange system practiced in some Pacific Island societies. It involves ceremonial gift exchange of valuables, creating social bonds and their alliances. In a legal anthropology, it is studied as a customary law practice regulating trade and relationships. It emphasizes reciprocity and a social obligation. Kula shows how legal norms exist outside a formal state law. The next term is endorsement. Endorsement refers to the act of signing or stamping a document, usually on negotiable instruments like checks, to authorize its transfer. It can also mean public support of a person, idea, or product. In legal terms, endorsements can create binding obligations for payment or delivery. The type of endorsement, like a blank, restrictive, special, affects negotiability. It plays a crucial role in commerce and banking. The next phrase is transfer deed. A transfer deed is a formal legal document transferring ownership of property from one party to another. It must be executed and in many cases registered to be valid. Transfer deeds are essential in real estate transactions. They typically include details of parties, consideration, and a property description. They serve as proof of ownership change. The next term is status. Status refers to a person's legal position or condition recognized by law. It includes aspects like citizenship, marital status, or corporate status. Status determines rights, duties, and privileges under the legal system. It is often regulated by personal laws, civil codes, or registration systems. Changes in status can have wide legal implications. The next term is audit. An audit is an independent examination of financial records, systems, or operations to ensure accuracy and compliance. It may be conducted internally or by external auditors. In a business, audits provide assurance to shareholders and regulators that accounts are true and fair. Beyond finance, audits can also assess legal complaints, efficiency, or environmental impact. The process promotes accountability and trust. The next phrase is Bill of Exchange. A bill of exchange is a written, unconditional order directing one party to pay a fixed sum of money to another at a future date. It is widely used in international trade and finance. The bill must be signed by the drawer and accepted by the drawee. It acts as a negotiable instrument transferable between parties. Failure to honor it can result in legal action for recovery. The next term is voucher. A voucher is a written document confirming a transaction, entitlement, or payment. It serves as evidence in accounting and legal matters. Businesses use vouchers to authorize payments or reimbursements. In law, vouchers may be used to summon a warrantor to defend a title. They ensure record keeping and accountability. The next term is kumiai, Japanese cooperative law. Kumiai refers to a cooperative association in Japanese law, often formed by farmers, fishermen, or tradespeople. These cooperative pool resources for production, distribution, and credit purposes. They operate under special statutes regulating their governance and economic activity. Kumiai promotes mutual aid and collective bargaining power. It reflects Japan's approach to balancing community and market forces. The next term is labor. Labor refers to human work, physical or intellectual, used in production of goods and services. In legal terms, it encompasses employment relations, wages, and workers' rights. Labor law regulates working conditions, collective bargaining, and dispute resolution. Protection of labor is recognized as a social and economic right. It is central to economic development and social justice. The next phrase is authentic act. An authentic act is a formal document executed before an authorized officer, such as a notary, and given official recognition. It carries greater evidentiary weight than private agreements. Common examples include property transfers, marriage contracts, and notarized deeds. Courts presume such acts valid unless proven otherwise. They safeguard the reliability and enforceability of important transactions.